Hey guys, it's Evy here and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I hope you decide to stick around and subscribe. Today's video, I'm going to be explaining the benefits of physical activity, talking all about it, what it is, how you can include it within your day. So if that is something you are interested in, just make sure you keep on watching. The World Health Organization, or WHO, defines physical activity as any bodily movement produced by the skeletal muscles that requires to exert energy. Physical activity isn't the same as exercise. Exercise is actually a subcategory of physical activity, and a lot of people think they are the same thing, but they aren't. Doing any form of physical activity is way better than doing nothing at all, which is why it's important to find any sort of movement to include within your day every day. If you have more of a sedentary lifestyle, such as you work at an office and you sit at a desk all day, it is really important to try and reduce the prolonged sitting. And the way you can do this is taking a break every hour just to move your body around for about 2 minutes, because like I said just then, it's better than doing nothing at all. Adding in these little tweaks and these little movements really add up all in the end. I'm now going to quickly talk about the negative effects of not participating in physical activity. There are 4 areas in our body that are maintained by doing physical activity, and these include flexibility, balance, strength, and endurance. These 4 areas are really important for an independent and healthy body. An inactive lifestyle can really have a negative effect on these areas, which are really essential just to do everyday activities such as household chores. There are more serious negative effects when there is a lack of physical activity, and these include social problems, increased risk of hospital admissions, and also increase of mortality. Now that we have the negatives out of the way, I am now going to talk about the benefits of physical activity, and there is a lot to talk about. So after this, I really hope you really understand why it's important to include any sort of physical activity or movement throughout your day. There are a variety of benefits of physical activity that contribute to different aspects of the mind and body, and I'm going to be breaking this up into 4 different categories. The first one is disease prevention. So doing physical activity, you're obviously strengthening those 4 areas that I talked about before. So the endurance, your flexibility, strength, and balance. And with these really strengthened, you are actually going to help reduce the risk of falls and fractures. Also help reduce the risk of developing chronic diseases such as coronary heart disease and diabetes. The next one is going to be physical benefits. So the physical benefits include: it will help improve your stamina, balance, and muscle strength. If you participate in outdoor activities such as going for a little walk in the afternoon or the morning, you are going to maintain your vitamin D levels as well. Also maintains healthy muscles and joints, and can also improve diseases such as diabetes and arthritis as well. The next one is functional benefits. This will help you increase your independence on just everyday activities such as household chores, which I mentioned before. It improves your physical functions such as walking, which ties in with the first point. So just doing physical activity will improve just your everyday life in general. And the last one is going to be psychological and social benefits. And the first one is improves mood. So studies show that when you participate in physical activity, it will release dopamine levels in the brain. And if you aren't sure what dopamine is, it is a hormone known as the feel-good neurotransmitter. So it's like that feel-good hormone that makes you just feel good. Also shown to reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression, and it will also play a very big role in maintaining social networks as well. The psychological benefits is what I really relate to, especially because I go to the gym to feel good, and lifting those weights, I can just feel like the stress and anxiety just leaving my body, and that dopamine is just really hitting me. So finding a movement that you really enjoy to release that feel good hormone is so important. I'm now going to share some information that you may or may not be aware of, which is called regions in the blue zone. These regions are Loma Linda in California in the USA, Nicoya, that's in Costa Rica, Sardinia in Italy, Ikoria in Greece, and Okinawa in Japan. So if you aren't aware what the blue zone is, basically these regions are known to live very healthy and long lives, basically. So they are known as like the healthiest regions in the world. And I'm pretty sure there is a Netflix documentary about these regions too. So if you're interested to find out more, I really do recommend watching that or doing some research because it's really interesting to see how these communities live their lives. So these regions have a lot of things in common, and these include traditional cultures using local foods. Elderly are very productive and active every day, and they have strong ties to families and friends, which relates to those benefits that I was talking about before. So having that social benefits, having that active, those physical benefits, it really ties into these 5 regions that I've just mentioned. These habits that are involved in these communities are seen to be as healthy habits. And if you include healthy habits within your day, such as physical activity, it is proven that you will live a longer and healthier lifestyle. Not just physically, but socially as well. I now just want to touch on one of the most common subcategories of physical activity, which is exercise. Exercise comes in so many different forms, and also exercise is something that is planned and structured as well. Finding a form of exercise you enjoy is very important, and like I said, it comes in lots and lots of forms, such as strength training, Pilates, cardio. There is so many different ways to plan and structure an exercise routine for yourself. If you force yourself to do a form of exercise that you aren't enjoying, you're obviously just not going to stick to it, and you're going to just feel miserable. And exercise shouldn't feel like a chore. It should feel like enjoyment. With social media, reels, TikToks on the rise, people are sharing their content and their workouts, which I think is great because it is a great way to gain inspiration for your workouts. But people do feel pressured to participate in like the trends that are happening within exercise. Like for example, I feel like during quarantine, strength training was very prolific at the time. Like people were just like, yes, lifting weights, let's get jacked. And then all of a sudden, people were like, no, we don't want to strength train anymore. We want to do Pilates now. That's now the trend. And then people were moving to Pilates. And I feel like exercise shouldn't be a trend. It should be something that you structure, something that you plan into your day, and something you enjoy. Because that is how you are going to see the progress you want, and that is how you're going to achieve the goals that you set yourself as well. So don't do workouts just because they're trending. Do them because you enjoy them. Do what fits into your day. Do what fits into your lifestyle. Not everybody has the privilege and the availability to work out 2 hours a day, but everybody has at least 15 minutes. You can wake up 15 minutes earlier. You can park your car just that little bit further away and walk the remaining distance to work. And don't lie to me that you don't have at least 15 minutes, because I know we are all in the same boat, I feel like, and we're doing that death scrolling, which means you are laying in bed, it is past your bedtime, but instead of going to sleep, you're watching TikToks. So instead of death scrolling, you can just get up and just do a form of movement, just anything. A great form of exercise is cardio, and the most popular cardio is probably walking as well. So cardio does amazing things for the body, and it does reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease as well. So throughout this video, you have heard me say how physical activity can help reduce disease prevention. It can improve arthritis and diabetes. It has such amazing benefits to your health. And I just really want to make that very clear. But whatever your goal is with fitness, just doing any sort of cardio, I feel like is really important. I feel like a lot of people have shied away from cardio, but just doing it again in a form you enjoy is very important. So cardio comes in many different forms, not just walking, but cycling and swimming and skipping. Lots of different ways to include cardio within your exercise plan as well. Alright, so that brings me to the end of this video, talking about what physical activity is, the negative effects, and the many benefits as well. I hope you have gained something from this video, and if you weren't participating in much physical activity or none at all, I really hope that this has opened your eyes and it has given you the information and education that you need to make great decisions about your health. So just make sure that if you don't have much time to do physical activity, just parking that little bit extra further from your work and walking the remaining distance, taking the stairs instead of the escalator or the elevator, just making those tiny tweaks really add up in the end. So without further ado, I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. And just remember that one bad day isn't a setback, and tomorrow can always be better. Bye guys.